a lot of our parents, especially of older generations, they have this element of pride. And you as the adult child are the last one that they're going to tell if they're having challenges. Because they don't want to inconvenience their children.
They're great at faking it, great at
They are.
compensating. They're great at mom's pretending dad's better than dad's doing, kind of thing.
Mhm.
That's why the inquiries and the leads spike in January and February, because everybody sees each other during the holidays and
Mhm.
we've got eyes on. So
Yeah. Or after summer vacation, it
or after
happens
summer
too.
vacation.
Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome everyone to Answers for Elders radio network, heard across the USA on your favorite podcast channel, and check out our YouTube channel. I am excited today about our topic. And I'm going to give like a little bit of background to our listeners, because I think a lot of us have had times where we've spent time with a senior loved one. Maybe it's someone like a father or a mom or both your parents. And maybe it's a holiday season. Maybe it's the summertime. You had a vacation or whatever. And all of a sudden you start to see signs. You know, mom is grabbing onto furniture. She's walking, or wow, there's a lot of spoiled food in the refrigerator, or gee, the bills are piling up. I don't understand. There's a lot of like things that are out of order than things used to be. And, I think one of the things that's really important for us as adult children is a lot of us will spend time in kind of this denial phase of, wow, maybe I should have done better. Maybe I should have noticed things in retrospect. But we tend to just kind of let things lie. This is a show today to kind of help wake up all of us to start paying attention earlier rather than later, and how to be the best support for your loved one as they potentially need to go through the transitions that may be ahead. And I'm very honored today to have Ellie Brown, who's the Vice President of Marketing and Sales for Chateau Retirement. And you're going to hear that name a lot on the show coming forward, especially in the Pacific Northwest market area, because we are very excited to have them on board as our experts in senior living. And Ellie Brown, welcome to Answers for Elders Radio.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm excited. Let's do this.
Oh, well, I'm excited too, Ellie, because I had the privilege of meeting you not too long ago. And it was like, I felt like I had this soul sister in the world. You and I have so many things, background in common, and, experiences. And of course, you're currently also helping your father right now. So that's even a whole other side of it, where, we both kind of been down that family caregiver, quote unquote, path. And so you were the first person I wanted to reach out to say, I would love to have Ellie's take on, you work in senior living, but you work with families each and every day and the experiences. And so I'd like to really start out the show today on what is the common denominator, or what are the things that you see as families try to help their loved ones?
It's interesting because in my previous employer, I was traveling full time for new development and 300 days a year in a hotel. And so I was in every kind of community across the United States and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And the common denominator is it's all the same issues. It's
Mm-hmm.
all the same family types, if I want to say it that way, or
Right.
the same challenges and obstacles, sometimes the same misperceptions,
Mm-hmm.
the same stereotypes. It could be as simple as the daughter says, would I visit with my mom every day? So she's got
Mm-hmm.
socialization. And then when I am coaching my teams, my sales teams, to say, hold up now, that's not the same peer-to-peer socialization
No.
so me visiting my dad is definitely visiting, but
Mm-hmm.
when he's with his compadres of the same age group, that's different. So sometimes it's misinformation, sometimes it's stereotypes of senior living.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's all the same dynamics. It could
Sure.
be the dysfunctional family or the fractured family. It could be the very, very bonded family with lots
Mm-hmm.
of siblings. But at the end of the day, it's just how do we best support our parents at that point, our loved ones who are still have every right to make all their decisions and their own decisions as independent, honorable people that have made it this far in life,
Mm-hmm.
with the exception if it's a dementia type thing or a cognitive thing.
Right.
But how do we, because we are starting to shift that where we're having to start to become more of the parent role or making some decisions for them.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that look like? Really, what does
Yeah.
that look like? And those conversations are hard. And
Mhm.
there's no perfect roadmap.
Right.
And every family has their own dynamics, but how do we know when to say what we need to say and how to say it? When does the
Right.
tough love come in?
Right.
Because we're worried. Most of the time it's
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
something's happening.
Yeah.
Something's
Yeah.
changed
Yeah.
in the family.
I have realized more and more when 20 years ago, and I can't believe it was 20 years ago when my mom was still living independently. And it was about 2 years before something bad happened that we had to intervene. But the signs were there for 2 years that I probably should have been more mindful towards, her process, the things that were not quite right yet. And I kind of just chose to say, oh, well, mom's fine. There was this disconnect of, I don't need to deal with this because, mom's fine. And I have a lot of people that say, well, I have my folks are still at home. I don't see them very often. This is a common story. And, but they're fine. I talk to mom on the phone once a week, but they don't see the living environment that they're living in. They don't understand that maybe the mobility challenges that they might be having, just little things that could add up to potential things. And a lot of our parents, especially of older generations, they have this element of pride. And you as the adult child are the last one that they're going to tell if they're having challenges. Because they don't want to inconvenience their children. And so are you finding that that's the case?
Well, there's so much to unpack there, and that's going to be probably the whole second segment to
right.
unpack that. But there's multiple things going on there. As the adult daughter, there's my own denial going on.
Right.
I don't want my mom or my dad. I don't want to accept this.
No.
There's also, I have a busy life. I probably have stuff going on myself, job, grandkids, kids, my own stressors. There's a little bit of that disconnect, but there's also parents are parents and they're great at faking it, great at compensating. They're great at mom's pretending dad's better than dad's doing kind of thing. That's why the inquiries and the leads spike in January and February because everybody sees each other during the holidays and we've got eyes on. So
yeah, or after summer vacation,
or after summer vacation.
And that's the thing that in the industry, we in the industry see this happening every day. And throughout the year, there's this seasonal spike of and it does happen right after the holidays. Very often people will say, wow, I didn't realize how rattled dad got, during Christmas Day. I didn't realize how tired, my parents get. I didn't understand how mom, had a hard time, with certain things. And, I think a lot of us, like you say, it's the 5 stages of grief. The first one of starting to see that our loved one fail is that feeling of denial. It's like, oh, this isn't happening. It's not, it's not really, they're going to live forever. I mean, there was a part in my mindset, even though I knew my father was in his mid 80s, I know there was this piece in my head that says, oh, dad's never going to die. It was like crazy, right? But we just don't want to face these types of scenarios. And so we tend to put it off as best as we can. And so therein lies the challenge. So, if you're in the greater Puget Sound area, I am so excited to have Chateau Retirement with us. And for those of you that are in the greater Seattle area, Ellie, how do we reach you?
Well, we have 3 locations. One's in Linwood. It's called Chateau Pacific. It's a beautiful community, independent living, assisted living, and memory care. And it's been there 25 years. And then we have, because we are family owned, one owner family, which is unheard of nowadays. And then we have our Bothell community, which is Bothell Landing, and it is a 266 unit community.
It's gorgeous, by the way.
Gorgeous.
That's your newest one, right? I think
no, it's not the newest one, but they keep adding to it.
Oh, okay.
We have land, so we keep adding. So there's newer buildings to it.
Okay.
It's right across the street from the North Shore Senior Center, so it's perfect. It's a perfect location. And then we have our rent in Chateau Valley, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They all do independent living and assisted living, and then we have our Chateau Gardens memory care as well. So you would just ask for Ellie if you wanted to talk to me directly, but any one of those communities are so gracious. People work for Chateau forever, so they love working there. So they'll support anyone that walks through the door and makes that call.
Fabulous. So Ellie and I will be right back right after this. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.